Bob Metodiev, and I'll talk today a little bit about the trends on the data side in North America with respect of B2B and B2C marketing. I just want to start by providing you a little bit of information, background about me and Canada Post in particular. So I manage at Canada Post Digital and Data Division the data partnerships in North America and the negotiations and discussions with all of the data providers. With that respect, I've been working with credit unions for the last 5 years or so, developing new products and solutions, bringing to market and monetizing some of the data which credit unions have, combined with some of the data which Canada Post have. Canada Post is an organization. It's slightly different than most of the postal administration you're familiar with. And the main difference is that a few years back, we separate our physical business, that will be what companies, what postal administration generally do, mail and parcels business, from our digital and data arm, which operates more like a startup. And that was our growth engine. And I've been working for the last 5 years or so on the product side within the data and targeting group within the digital division. So I recently joined Equifax. So I've been working until 2 weeks ago, and then I joined Equifax Canada as a strategic account executive. So what I want to do today, I'll just walk you through some of the services which Canada Post developed, some of which are based on internal data as well as credit union data. And also we can have a, if you want, open discussion about general opportunities, about trends which I've seen working with other companies and organizations in North America. And if you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt me at any point, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Okay, so this slide is a summary of our approach to market with respect to master data management. So I'm sure that all of you are aware of the trends of companies generally talking about improving all of the interaction within their internal company with respect of not only their own data but also third-party data. In the big data world, there's so many different connections and interactions. Therefore, it's very important to have clean data in-house, to be able to set in place proper data governance activities, and to fully monetize all the data which you have, as well as integrate our third-party data. So from Canada Post perspective, what we developed address prediction web service, which within the master data management space, what we do, we introduce it at the front end and the border of the organization, so it helps with improving the accuracy of the addressing data as for our clients, as customers are onboarded and they start the process in a call center environment, in a point of sale system environment, through the sales CRM process, online through a website. Then not only with this particular tool, we can improve the quality of the data, but it also reduces with 80% the typing of information, so improve the speed, improve the accuracy, and the user experience overall. It's a web-based service, easy to integrate. Within less than 5 minutes, you can integrate with any existing application. Basically, working with credit unions, we are able, within the organization, using that web service capability on the back end of the web service call, to have a second call and provide additional information with respect of information about businesses, information about consumers, which could help those companies to approach accordingly the particular clients of theirs by having better information about firmographic data, better information about behavior data for consumers, and so forth. So, and obviously at the end, being a postal administration, we have smart flow software services to reduce potentially return mail, undeliverable mail as part of the marketing campaign which this particular organization could do with respect of approaching some of their clients. So as in the bottom right, you basically offer list services to clients, and as they execute it, then we have the ability to help with return mail as well. Are there any question about master data management and how we play with that space? Obviously, Canada Post or even the credit unions overall are not the major player in that space. We often work with companies like IBM, SAS, to approach the client because they have, often I work with companies like Accenture, Deloitte, as a consulting firms which are responsible to customize and build the solution using different softwares, but some of the data which we have at Canada Post combined with the data which our friends from the credit unions have provides part of the solution. So also what I want to mention is that the Others Complete Web Service is a global service available in over 150 countries in the world. Okay, so that's how it looks. Just on the top right corner, you can see as you start typing a couple of numbers, then the appears the others, and as well as the business name of the company. So as what I mentioned earlier, we've seen this decrease with 80% the typing of information, and has this autocomplete functionality, which means that as you type in one line, so a Google-like experience, then you can pre-populate any particular form in any particular format. You can start from the DAC, you can start with the postal code, you can start with the address. It doesn't change the ability to identify the address and predict it. The strength of this solution is not only the creativity and the innovation with respect of the tool itself, but also the power of the data which we have working with postal administration across the world. We're able to have the most detailed information from others' perspectives. And as you know, Anderson is not only used for mailing purposes, often it's used for matching. When you match data for different sources, it's a field which is commonly used, and having accurate data can help companies from order to cash perspective, from marketing, from shipping, and any other particular department. So those are some of our clients which use that service. I just put a snapshot of different companies. So from Walmart to insurance companies, telecommunication companies, big federal government companies, automotive companies, and obviously online e-com type of companies. Another area I just want to touch base on is related to our, as we call it, point-of-call database, which basically means all the addressing data which we have. Being Canada Post as an organization, we use the addressing data as the backbone for our data services, and then we append different characteristics and different additional data which we have in-house or we secure through third parties. So part of my role was to reach to companies in Canada and US, talk with data providers, and basically bring in-house some of the data which they have and monetize it through our lists and services. So the type of data which we have on the business side will be the pre-development data. We work closely with the municipalities, with the cities, and as part of the building permit process, we know 2 to 3 years in advance that a new development will be built. Obviously, new addresses. We also have, we understand when people move from A to B because we offer services to redirect the mail, and therefore we use that data to put together lists and licenses for clients. So we have names of consumers which we offer as lists. We have demographic data, which is anything from income and household data through the usual statistics which are done, and surveys through firmographic data about revenue size, employee size, sick codes, and so forth for the profiling of the prospects. We also have secured through third parties as well as through some of our internal data information about ethnicities. So working with North American companies in that space, basically based on the names and certain other additional characteristics, they identify the ethnicity of particular individuals, which we have as a select available within our list and licensing. So let's say if an automotive company is interested to go after Asian community within the Vancouver area, which have income over 100,000, then they can choose some of those selects, and we can put together a list and deliver that data for them for the purpose of completion of the marketing campaign. Also, what we have for some of our third parties is live stage data, and it's done through third party surveys. It's done through clusters. I don't know how familiar you are with the clustering of different subsegments within a particular geographical area. Here in Canada, we have 2 companies which offer this type of lifestyle clusters, so they can identify that, let's say, if once you put the postal code, they can tell you that the postal code means that on street level they can identify that within this area the people have dogs, like outdoor activities, have income of over 100,000, let's say, on a number of other information, very, very accurate. So only 2-3 companies in Canada offer that type of cluster analysis for live stages, versus in the States there are a number of companies which are in that space. I mean, obviously Canada is 1/10 as a size in comparison of overall population, so it makes sense that we have only few, versus in the States there are multiple companies which offer this type of segments and customize it for a particular client. So also what Canada Post developed recently, based on some of our delivery data, we identify particular postal codes where we have high propensity to order goods online, use that as additional segment, use it as an additional indication which could help with selling it as a list to companies which are interested to promote to those individuals, especially e-commerce type of clients which are trying to expand their reach. So with respect of interest, we work with media companies which provide us with data which we use as within our services to identify particular areas. So let's say based on the magazine subscriptions which they receive, we have that information aggregated and provided as one of the selects to generate revenue from these media companies by identifying that particular group is interested in, let's say, sports magazines or medical journals. We also, within all of our list and licenses, we also have phone numbers available. So what we do, we allow for most of the campaigns which are run through our data to use physical mail, direct marketing mail campaigns combined with mail through phone numbers. On the as part of our multi-channel campaigns now, Canopus is looking to add email campaigns. The reason for why we don't do that in the moment, because in Canada there a new privacy legislation which will come in effect within 6 months or so. So everyone is a little bit on the cautious side how to deal with emails, because the restrictions will become much tighter than any other country in the world. That's why the email campaigns is something which we don't do. Through that mean, what we do at Canopus, we develop different let's say mover portals where we promote on behalf of third parties through our newsletters electronically. We have banner ads through some of our Change of Others services and so forth. So here you have a little bit more description of the different type of business data which we have. I just put it for if you're interested to understand what Canopus offer. I mean, potentially you are working closely with the postal administrations in your area, as most likely they're one of your clients with their order to cash, but I just want to show you how you can expand that relationship further, and you can basically partner with them to develop and bring to market services and solutions. So in my interactions with the credit unions, we started that relationship as clients, some of them using it for validating credit score data. Then we expanded to working with credit unions for the purposes of authentication of online customers, and now we're reaching a point where we are bringing to market jointly B2B and B2C marketing lists and licenses. Are there any questions so far? Anything in particular you want to ask and find out a little bit more about some of the aspects of our relationship?
You can always type your questions in the chat box if you don't have a microphone.
Okay, well, I'll keep going, and yeah, feel free to put a comment in the chat section, or maybe ask a couple of questions at the end. There'll be a few minutes left in the end to talk a little bit more about anything else, any area you want to touch base on, or you can just drop me a line after and we can discuss privately. So yeah, on this slide, basically, I just provide a different view of the type of data and services which the postal administration offers, combined with data from the credit unions. So on the consumer side, what we offer as data services includes infilling some of the information. Often we have data about particular building, but we have missing units, apartment numbers within the data, so Canopos basically infill that information, taking some of the lists for our clients, improve the overall address accuracy of their lists, so that and improves obviously the quality of the campaigns when they run using the same information. We also tend various third-party data. There's fees associated with that, suppressing the existing clients, suppressing for what we call the Canadian Marketing Association suppression, which is basically people which don't want to receive direct marketing campaigns. They can opt out with the Canadian Marketing Association, and then companies are have the obligation to remove them from any lists before they're sent out. On the business side, in a similar fashion, we have address accuracy information. We have the ability to validate businesses. So the reason why Canopos has on the business side the freshest data with respect to businesses is that we at Canopos maybe invest over $500 million in infrastructure to improve our own overall, to automate our processes. But as a result of that, now we have great visibility through scanning all the pieces of mail and parcels going through our machines to identify the latest location of businesses. So being able to identify new businesses, and building obviously models on top of that data. So receiving millions of records every 4 hours, using that data to model it and identify new businesses, companies which are out of business, and companies which move from A to B. It's something which positions us well to bring to the market this B2B data, which is fairly, which is 4 to 6 months ahead of every other B2B data provider. So let's say when we talk with, when we look at the data which the credit unions have on that site, their data usually get those updates 6 months later. So that's why we decided to work together and partner, because although we have the most accurate information about the location, about the individuals which are at that location, the decision makers, we obviously don't have the firmographic data. Working with credit union, Canopos, and the credit unions here in Canada, we are bringing to market joint solutions on the B2B side. Similarly, working in U.S. with credit unions, because some of the solutions which we have are international, working with the like three-way partnerships with the postal administration over there. It's also something which we are exploring to expand as part of the reach of our data services, because what in North America, usually Canada and U.S., a lot of solutions companies are interested about both markets, because most of the U.S. based companies have branches in Canada, and the other way around. Canadian based companies always reach to the U.S. market, so very close. The U.S. and Canada are very close as business partnerships. 85% of the Canadian export goes to U.S., therefore companies are interested about North American solutions. So back to what I was saying, so being able to validate some of those businesses which move in a new location ahead of time, and close to real time is something which a lot of companies are interested, from hardware, software companies, companies which want to offer debit or credit solutions as new businesses are moving in, need to do that before the business is in operation. So the freshness of the data is a key here to reach to a different segment, which we haven't been able to serve only using the credit union data in the same fashion, because the data which they receive about new businesses is generally too late. For some of them, obviously. So, and back to, that's just a summary about the master data management. I mean, I don't know if that's the case in your jurisdictions, but here in North America, master data management, it seems to be very sexy word. Everyone uses it. There's a lot of opportunities. It's all the international conference talk about how you can improve the quality of the data, how you can improve the flow of the data within your organization, and as well as how to improve the data governance. When you talk about data governance, data breaches also come into mind. In Canada, the credit union, Equifax is a credit union, for instance, is the company which had been involved with resolving and helping clients with data breaches for last few years, 100% of the time. So there are a number of solutions which Equifax has built to address and help protect the clients which were data was exposed, and to work with the so some of those companies which had these issues to mitigate the risk for ID theft and so forth after the fact. So master data management benefits are obviously in different areas, starting from customers, going through the operations within the company, the technology groups within the companies which are relying on accurate data and having the ability to connect all those data points is extremely important, not only to connect them, but to use the accurate information to do matches and appends, and obviously accurate data on the other side, and not only on the other side, overall accurate data for the marketing campaigns is extremely important. In the big data, when you look at patterns, if some of the sources of data which you use to identify the correlations, if they are not accurate, then obviously the your campaign will not gain the ROI which you're looking for. Okay, I think that that's all I have. Any questions? Anything guys you want to talk about? More details?
Hi, this is Dimitri from Prague. I was pretty struck by the fact that there are so much concerns which are associated with privacy of emails. And in this respect, how do you deal with the government to ensure that there is not much resistance from government side connected to your services? And of course, thanks a lot for your great presentation.
Yeah. So with respect of emails, there's a lot of concerns about how you use the emails, because there's so many ways to collect emails nowadays. What in Canada we are planning to introduce 6 months from now, it's called the CAFU legislation. It basically means that it's the Canadian anti-spam legislation in that area, and requires double opt-in. So it requires not only that the client, in order to use that email for data lists or to provide it to third parties is the client opting not only to the originator, the company which collected the initial email, but they also opt in to receive third-party offers from other companies. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, I think yes. And for instance, do you happen to have lots of situation when you need to contact government in order to ensure that your services won't be restricted at some point? Because, for instance, I know that in some countries, even an access to the database containing all addresses is pretty hard to achieve.
Yeah, no, let me...
Or just maybe Canadian government is more easygoing and understands the business needs.
Well, I mean, that might be the case. I mean, government is government everywhere around the world. In Canada, at least, we have very good addressing data layer, and although that we have very strict policies around privacy, you can go around some of those privacy restrictions on the business side by using addressing information as an identifier instead of consumer names, let's say, or social insurance number, which is very strictly protected. Addressing data, it seems to be a little bit more open for use by different companies for different purposes. I think that that's why maybe Canada Post moved in that space, because basically the addressing layer was often used for a number of reasons beyond the mailing, but just more on the analytics side and data merge and purge side. I'm not sure if that's. I mean, I can't. I don't know enough about the government in different jurisdictions and the quality of the addressing. I believe that it's fairly good in like North America, Western Europe, UK for sure, Australia, as in some other countries, let's say China. There are definitely challenges, and the addressing can be used in the same way to import and backbone to connecting different data points.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Welcome.
I think it probably might be me again. Do you somehow measure the efficiency of your marketing campaigns? And of course, it hugely depends probably on the products and the target population.
So do you want me, I mean, I can't disclose the response rate, but what differentiates some of the lists which we run for our clients as part of their campaigns is that we confirm that there will be no more than 4% returns, which means that the accuracy of the addressing information when you send a direct marketing campaign will be at 96%. So that's the step one guarantee. And starting from here, so let's say, I mean, in the past I've run national campaigns to millions of people, and then I got 20% back as a return mail because it wasn't delivered to the right address. So I used data from data providers which didn't have the most accurate information. So having it at 96%, that basically means that you can improve the accuracy of the campaign because more of those pieces will end up at the client. What also helps to improve the success of the campaign is the usage of different additional data points, so you can be much more targeted. What we can afford is a targeting team which helps with clients not only to put together the data package, give them the data package, but also, let's say, when we work with a big retailer like Walmart or Target, we identify the driving direction, the distances between particular areas, identify which are the ideal clients. So in North America, it's very much driving culture. So it's not only important where people live, sometimes it's important where they work, and then you see that correlation. So you go to a store on the way home as opposed to shopping at the store next to your house, because you're driving anyway to work and it's on your way. So that's a good example of how you can improve the efficiency when you take those variables into consideration, when you build the models, when you put together the campaign, which at the end you provide to the clients. What we do after the campaign is executed, we also do post-campaign analysis and propose ways to improve the campaign, which are the most profitable segments within the respondents from the campaign, and therefore, for the next campaign, how to get even better return on investment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Any questions on the data breach side? I'm just curious, and if you guys experience in your jurisdictions a huge spike in data breaches. I know that that's the case in Canada, but I'm curious if that's something which you experience on your side, and if you actively participate through solutions to address data breaches. Anyone want to comment on that?
Bob, could you repeat that, please? Because you were breaking in and out, I'm afraid.
Okay, I had a question, which was regarding data breaches, and I'm curious if there's a global trend with increase of data breaches across the border, across globally, because definitely I've seen increase of data breaches in Canada in particular, and the credit unions playing extremely important role in generating significant revenue from mitigating some of those data breaches.